Okay, this is part 3 of the Prodigy Composer training. We've already gone through and gave our system a name, added rooms, selected the receiver device, the display options, added our sources to the system, and now under source commands. Now what you're doing here is simply making sure that the source commands got automatically assigned to their appropriate command. So it just asks you some basic questions. What is the play command? What is the stop command? Okay, if these weren't loaded properly, you could go through and find the appropriate command for play. Okay. Now notice we're on our BDPX, which is our Blu-ray player. And it asks primary next command, which would be track plus, and forward search for the secondary next command, which translate that to the to your fast forward button essentially. Okay. You want to go through and just check for all of your source devices and make sure that the appropriate commands are added. Now here it's added fast forward. I'm going to look and see if there is a better command, and there is. My skip forward button should be my previous button, and then my secondary, I'm going to make it the fast forward button that was assigned to the other one. Okay. iPod, there's nothing to add because that's a Crestron device, so they know what goes where. Okay, I'm going to click next after I've gone through all my sources, and here I have an opportunity to add climate to the system. I do have a PStat RF in the system for one zone climate control, so it asks me which room is that located in. It's in my family room because I'm not doing HVAC on my patio. So I'm going to click add that to the system. Now it gives me an option of PStat RF with no scheduler or with the scheduler. I'm going to select the scheduler because I want to give the client as many features as I can. And it tells me here that I need to add a PMNet gateway to the system. The PMNet gateway is the device that allows the thermostat to communicate to the processor. So I'm going to click OK. And it's got my thermostat here in the family room, and it's labeled at the family room automatically for me. So I'm done there. I can click next. Okay, now it's going to ask me if I want to add lighting control. Now for this purposes, I am not going to add lighting control because I don't have the equipment here in my office. But you would go through and select the model of light switch that you have installed in the system, and you'd click add to the system. Okay, and then you would name it. So if you have a family room with three dimmers in it, one controlling a chandelier, one controlling downlights, and one controlling the fireplace light, then you would add 3 light switches. You would name them appropriately for each. Now before you install these light switches, you want to write down the serial numbers and which light load they're controlling. Okay? Because later on, when you do the system setup, when you actually do the network setup, it's going to ask you which one is which. We're not doing lighting, so we're going to skip past that. Now it asks me what type of interfaces we have. All I have is a PTX3 in this system, so I'm going to leave it there. But I could go through and add the PTL4 touchscreen, could add an X panel, add one of their wireless keypads, add the iPod iPhone app. But for the purposes here, we're just going to add the touch panel. Okay? Now audio keypads, if I had put one of the wireless hard button keypads in here, then it would give me an opportunity to configure those. But since I didn't, we're going to skip right past that. Now it's asking me to verify discrete power commands. So I go through each of my devices, my Blu-ray player, and make sure that the discrete power commands are assigned. I don't want my DVR to turn off, so I'm going to click none. I don't want it to control the discrete power for my DVR. Display device, make sure it has the correct discrete power commands. Receiver device, and it tells me that the receiver commands were configured clear back here on the receiver setup, so that's already done. Gone through all my devices. I'm going to click next. And there's your system. Okay, I've gone through and I've set up the entire system. From here, I would go into Setup Network to actually establish communications between all the components. Then I go to Upload System and load it. We will continue that in another part of training.